Oh, welcome back, all my YouTube subscribers, Twitter followers, all the big Met fans out there, whoever you are, Yankees, Mets, baseball fans. Thank you for tuning into the stream as we are about to get started. Probably go live till about 11:45, so here we go. What is going on, fellas? We got a call-in number today if anybody wants to call in, but I figured we'll start with the big trade that just took place. Meet the Mets, what's going on? Landon, what is going on, my man? Mitch the God Trubisky in the house. Tansy Mehmet in the house. What is going on, my man? What is poppin'? Ligma, what is up? Mitch the God Trubisky says, do you think that Syndergaard might get traded? Sorry for the spelling. No, I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going to get traded. John is a Phillies fan. All right, that's all right. We'll let it go. What's up, Steven Mendez? Thank you guys for tuning into the stream as we talk some Mets baseball. I have a couple of sources. I got some free agents we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the trade that just took place with obviously Cano and Diaz, what that means for the future of this team, what that means for this year's current team. So we're going to talk about a lot of things today. That one guy, what is going on, my man? Steven Pazienza in the house. Let's go Yankees, he says. Sean Carpenter, what is going on? What is up, everybody? We're going to talk a little Mets baseball today. What is going on? What's going on, Unlimited? Thank you for tuning into the stream, my man. If anybody's new to the channel, please hit that thumbs up. It does help the stream. And don't forget to ring that bell. You'll get a notification every time I go live. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. Winter meetings tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of rumors. We're going to get into that in a little bit. I just want to let everybody get into the chat. That one guy, thank you very much, my man. I appreciate that, my man. Good luck at your track meet. Let's go Yankees, Ligma says. Yeah, I figured a lot of my... Joe Lutz is in the house. What is going on, Joe? Thank you for tuning into the stream. I figured a lot of my subscribers are Yankee fans that you... I'm weird, okay? I went against the grain. I went Mets, I went Giants. That's not normal. But, you know, I took the hard path in life. And I Meet the Mets actually did the same thing. He's the rare fan, that rare combo. Ask Giraffe, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I figured we would talk a little bit about the Cano and Diaz trade, what that means for the team. So the Mets, they added, I think, I don't know the exact numbers, but this year's payroll actually took a cut. Where it's going to hurt them is the 3 final years of Cano. That's where it's going to add $20 million to the payroll from, what would that be, like 2021 to 2023 or whatever it is. The last 3 years, that's where that is really going to cut into the team's finances. Joe Lutz is a Mets fan. What is going on, my man? So I figured I would pull up the free agents. I figured we'd start with that. The rumor is that the Mets are actually going to add, I think it's 170 to 180 million. That's the projected payroll this year. And right now they sit at, hold on, let me pull it up for you guys. I had it. Where'd it go? Well, whatever. The payroll right now, I think, is at $129 million. So you figure they got about $40 to $50 million to spend, $30 to $40 million to spend. So when you look at the free agents in this year's class that are still left, the Mets' needs are clearly catcher, center field, and maybe relief pitching for sure. So I figured I'd take a look at the catchers. I pull that up for you guys. And the catchers this year, you've got, hold on, let me get rid of this for you guys. The catchers this year, the two names you've heard the most are Grandal, who they're projecting to make about $10 million. So that's a lot. That'll add a lot to the to their payroll. You know, so if they have $40 million to spend, I don't know if I want to spend $10 million on a catcher. The guy that you hear that I think they're gonna probably go for is Maldonado. He's known more for his glove, not much of a stick. And he's projected to make about $4 million in free agency. So I think you go with the cheaper option there at the catcher, and that still gives you another $35 to $40 million to spend on the rest of the team, which then will bring you to relief pitcher. I'm going to go back to the chat for a little bit because I can't see you guys while I'm showing this, but then we'll get into the relief pitcher. But I think that Maldonado's probably going to be the guy that they go after. Real Muto, yes, of course, Real Muto. That one guy is a Yankees fan. I figured a lot of my subs would be Yankee fans. I appreciate you guys tuning in regardless. During the season, I'm going to be talking some Yankees, but I'm a Met fan, so I'm going to talk mainly Mets. I'm going to have Bad Dog on the channel a lot. We're actually going to do a collaboration. If you haven't checked Bad Dog out, check him out. Please sub him up. He's going to do Yankees. I'm going to do Mets. We're going to announce games together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pollock, yes, Meet the Mets. Pollock is the other guy we've been hearing. Volaire, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Pollock's the other guy we've been hearing, but of course he's had the injury struggles. Plus he's coming from the West Coast with the thin air, so his stats are a little misconstrued. So I don't know how we do at Citi Field. You know what I'm saying? Because he's probably hit more home runs in Arizona than he would in Citi Field. So he hits about 20 home runs on average when he plays at Arizona. You probably cut that down to 12 to 15. He's still going to steal you 12 to 15 bases. Probably about 280, 290. Play good defense. But, of course, he misses 40, 50 games every year. So that's what you got to worry about with Pollock. And as Met fans, we know whenever we sign somebody, it goes wrong. So I would love Salvador Perez. I've said that for years. Johnny's right here. Johnny never leaves my side, John. Johnny is always right here next to me. But I'm saving that, of course, for the Giant game tomorrow. Yes, more Yankees fans. Well, I figured a lot of my subs, I'm trying to grow this up, you know what I'm saying? So as my subs come in, hopefully Met fans stop by. And, you know, you have to start somewhere. You start at ground zero, and you guys are helping support it. Because as this stream gets some views, gets some thumbs up, it'll bring some Met fans onto the channel, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm definitely going to talk Yankees and Mets in season, but I'm a Met fan, so that's who I know about. But who brought up Joe brought up the Real Muto trade. The Real Muto trade, from what I heard, they're asking for way too much. They're asking for, I heard, Conforto or Nimmo. They're asking for Rosario, which is crazy, and then some of our top prospects on top of that. So there's no way, unless they lower their asking price, Real Muto's out of the question. We're not going to get him. So that's why I think they're going to go cheaper at catcher, and I think they're going to spend big in the free agency market with the relief pitching, and possibly bring in a starter. We'll see. Am I a bigger Mets? People ask me that all the time. Blast replays. I love all my teams equally, and that's the God's honest truth. I love my Giants. I love my Mets. I love my Knicks. Those are my three teams. I live and die with them. Oh my God, Johnny. Yeah, trust me. I normally have a beer. It's 10:30 in the morning, and I'm not an alcoholic, so I'm not gonna be drinking beer today. I got my Red Bull to try to get up before work. I love Alonso too. Meet the Mets. Alonso's got big potential for this team this year. We'll see. Spring training is going to be a huge part of this team, because if Alonso doesn't perform in spring training, then they're going to have to give the job to Frazier, and I don't want that. I'm not a big fan of Frazier. I figure they're probably going to start McNeil at third. Frazier, they'll sprinkle him in, but Alonso has to perform in spring. Otherwise, you figure that Frazier's going to take over the first base role. All right, Blast. Thank you for tuning into the stream, my man. But yeah, so the other free agents I wanted to bring up, I wanted to get into the relief pitching. I wanted to get into the center field, because those are the other spots that we'd be looking at. So if you look at the free agency pool here, we'll get into the center fielders here. Pollock is, of course, a name you've heard. They say Pollock's market value right here, if you can see it, is about almost $15 million a year. $14.5 million a year. So you figure if they bring in him and Maldonado, you're talking close to $20 million of the hopefully $40 million that they have left to spend. That still gives you enough money to go after a big-time relief pitcher. Adam Jones, I want no part of. The guy never walks. I'm not a big fan of his. Harper, I think we all know we're probably not getting him. Billy Hamilton would be a cheap alternative. He brings speed to the lineup. Jet Central was actually talking about that last week. I don't know. If they're going to get a center fielder, I think Pollock would be the guy I would attack. But I completely understand people. If you look at it, there's not much else out there. I mean, there really isn't. I mean, Billy Hamilton's probably the next best guy, who's probably going to make about $5-6 million a year. But I'm not a big fan of Billy Hamilton as an everyday player. The guy has like a .299 on base percentage, I think, last year. He doesn't walk, which is what you want from your leadoff hitter. He could swipe bases, but not much of a hitter. Yet last year he had a .626 OPS. Not really something I'm looking for my leadoff hitter there. So if they're going to go center field, I think I'd go Pollock. But I'm completely fine with them saving that money, maybe bolstering the bullpen even more, bringing in a starting pitcher. But we'll see. We'll see going forward. Who do I think is going to get Manny and Harper? I've heard the rumors that I've heard Harper potentially to the Phillies, but then obviously we heard the news that Harper is not a fan of Philadelphia, so that could be a problem, John. But we'll see. Manny, I know neither one's coming to the Mets. That's all I know. Manny could end up with the Yankees. He could end up with the Dodgers. He could end up in a lot of places, but it won't be the Mets. Yeah, yes, meet the Mets. If they're not gonna, yes, The only thing Billy Hamilton brings is plus stolen bases. That's what he brings. But I think he's a great fourth outfielder, similar to Lagares. But I don't think he's an everyday. That's why I would consider Pollock. Well, the thing is, if Cespedes was here, you'd have Nimmo, you'd have Conforto, and you'd have Cespedes. But with Cespedes out, I understand them going after Pollock. But, of course, we all worry about the injuries. Maybe you have a Mets lineup of Perez, Alonso, Cano. That's not the order, obviously. You're just going by position. Rosario, McNeil, Conforto. To be determined. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're looking at right now, Yankee King. I think that's what the Mets are looking at right now. I don't know if they'll get Perez, but I think they're looking at an addition at catcher. First base is up in the air. It's going to either be between Alonso and Frazier. The infield is exactly what you said, probably. And then in the outfield, yeah, you have Conforto, Nimmo, and we'll see. I love Chili Davis. I remember him as a little kid. That guy could hit with the Yankees. He was a DH for you guys. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the Mets were expected to bring him in as the hitting coach. And then, of course, the other topic I wanted to get into was the free agent relief pitchers, which is where I think the Mets are going to spend the bulk of their money. And there's some big names. You look at the relief pitchers, and you've got. Let's take a quick look here. Zach Britton. He's due to make about, they're projecting about 8. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I had a pop-up. Whoops. Where'd it go? There it is. Zach Britton's due to make about $8.5 million. They say they project him to make. You got David Robertson. We all know him from the Yankees. He's a potential guy they could pick up, but he's 34 years old. Craig Kimbrell, $16 million. He's another huge name. But the guy that I really want is a former Yankee and really one of the best relief pitchers in all of baseball, and that's Andrew Miller, who they're projecting about $18 million. So if you could pair Diaz with Miller in the back of that bullpen, you got something special there. And if you could get to the 6th inning, get through 6 innings every night, there's a good chance the Mets are going to be able to lock down games. So with that Mets starting rotation, if you could bring in a Miller, pair him with Diaz, it's going to be lights out. The Mets, without injuries, should win 90 games minimum, in my opinion, if they're able to bring in a guy the caliber of a Miller and their pitchers pitch up to the back of their baseball card. With Syndergaard, Wheeler, and DeGrom at the top of the rotation, you hope Matz has a little bit of a bounce back here, and maybe you bring in one other veteran in the rotation. But if you could get Miller to solidify that bullpen, you got something cooking there in Queens. Oh, there was the payroll, by the way. Real quick, I'll pull that up. Would you trade our pitching prospect Peterson and Nimmo for... Yes, I would. I would do that, but they're going to want more. From what I heard, they're going to want Rosario, foul player. MH, what's going on, my man? And real quick, I had the payroll. This is our current payroll. We're currently projected at $130 million. Of course, you got Cespedes at the top. You got Cano they just brought in. David Wright, Jacob DeGrom. I didn't even know they were still paying Wright with the retire. I guess they have to pay him for this year. I don't know how that works, but this is up to date. So they got Wright for $15 million, DeGrom, Lagares, blah 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 blah. But all in all, it's about $129 million. So if they're willing to go up to 180, which is what the rumors are, you have $50 million to play with. That's a lot of money to improve this team in free agency. Wright's still on contract, so there you go. Yeah, but $50 million. By the way, anybody who wants to call in, the number is right there. We could talk Mets. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking to you guys. The number is 914-481-3540. Please feel free to call in. Miller and Diaz would be lights out. It would be the best back end of a bullpen in all baseball, in my opinion. You can't get better than that. I mean, real quick, I'm going to pull up Miller's stats. I mean, this guy is just dynamite. We saw him with the Yankees. We saw him with the Indians. Thought they had his stats on this site. Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay. Yeah, so here's Miller's stats. Last year, he was down, actually, for Cleveland, believe it or not. But Miller last year pitched to a 4.24 ERA. But the 5 years before that, you look at the numbers, and they are outrageous. 1.44, 1.45, 2.04, 2.02, 2.64. His Cape earning pitch rate is ridiculous. 95 and 62, 123 and 74. It's like Diaz. He almost has a 2 Cape earning rate in these years. The guy's a dynamite pitcher. He would solidify that bullpen. There's no doubt about it. The key is always health. It's always health with this team, MH. Always health. You can call me on your phone. Like that's my Skype number, but you can call me that. You call me that number. It'll come through on my computer. and we'd be able to talk. What is going on, Bavith? Hey, man, I appreciate you stopping by. I know a lot of my subscribers aren't big baseball fans. I'm trying to get it up, and whenever you guys come in, hit that thumbs up, ring the bell, subscribe. It does help my channel, and it helps bring potential baseball fans onto my channel. So even if you're football fans and you stop by for a minute and you just hit that thumbs up, it does help me. So I appreciate that, Bavith. Thank you. Of course, we're gonna get into the football talk tomorrow. I'm gonna ask Kid Blue, actually. I don't know how many of you guys know Kid Blue. He's a pretty big YouTuber. He's been doing it for a while. Giant YouTuber. I asked him last week, but the OBS wasn't working. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to get Vole. What's going on, my man? Tomorrow I'm gonna try to get Kid Blue on the channel in the pregame. So I'm trying to. I might even go live at like 11:45, 12 o'clock. And we'll have a pregame with Kid Blue. I'll give him a. I love that kid. So I'm gonna promote his channel. We're gonna talk Giants for about an hour, and then I'm gonna go live with the play-by-play. So I'm gonna hopefully he could come on. Oh, I got a call coming in, guys. Let me take this. Hello, you're on live with the Entertainer. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Entertainer? This is the foul player. I just asked you a question regarding the Peterson and Nimmo for Real Muto trade.
Yeah, I'm all for Real Muto. Real Muto is probably, I mean, I have to think about it, but he's probably the best all-around catcher in baseball. The guy's got a cannon for an arm. Offensively, he reminds me a little bit about, I don't know how old you are, but he reminds me a little bit of Jason Kendall from the Pirates back in the day, but he has more power. Kendall used to hit 8, 9 triples a year. This guy has that ability. He gets a lot of doubles, triples. He's a very athletic catcher. I would love to bring him in to solidify the top of the lineup. I'm gonna, by the way, guys, while I'm talking to someone, don't call in because I don't have the hold. I'm gonna hang up. Whoever that just was, just call back when I'm off the phone. But yeah, I would love that. That trade I would do, but the asking price from the Marlins supposedly is more than that.
Yeah, that's actually a dope comparison offensively, like that you just mentioned too, because I that kind of like flipped me completely. Jason Kendall, like and that didn't happen like that when we were.
Yeah. That was like what, early 2000s. Kendall, he has more power than Kendall. Kendall was not.
Yeah.
He hit more than 8 or 10 home runs, but Kendall was a very athletic catcher, good defensively, similar to Real Muto, a guy that you could stick at the top of the order. Real Muto would change this offense. He would be a great pickup.
Definitely.
I just wouldn't want. From what I heard and I read, and who knows, maybe the asking price comes down. They were asking for one of Conforto and Nimmo, Ahmed Rosario, and a top prospect. And that I wouldn't do.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
That I wouldn't do. Rosario is a guy that I think could have a big breakout year. A guy that I'm not looking to trade this year. I think he could.
Nah, definitely not.
Yeah, I love him. I know he had a good. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but he had a good second half. But what are your expectations for the Mets this year?
Nah, I mean, depending, cause usually they come out of the gate and they make like this one splashy move, and then like you feel like that they do that like to appease you and to make it seem like they're spending money, and then like they'll like scale back.
Right.
I mean, it seems like they're wheeling and dealing currently, like, which I like.
Yeah.
And it's like really early on, and like there's the prospect of making more moves seemingly.
Right.
But
well, that's my thing. They have to follow through with this. If this is the only big move they make, it was a mistake. They have to spend a lot more in this offseason.
Yeah, definitely. And what about Andrew? Like, did you say Andrew Miller for 18?
Yeah, well, that's the projected number according to the site. By the way, I just want to say hello to the Best Savage, one of my best subscribers. Thank you for tuning in, Best Savage. Yeah, Andrew Miller, the projected salary is about 17 to 18 million. They're saying, but that's the going rate for a top end closer in today's game.
No, I would do Andrew Miller for 18. I don't give a shit. Like, I mean, it's not like because you could always flip that like worst case scenario. And Andrew Miller, he's a dog. Like, he could teach these other bullpen guys how to pitch in the postseason. Yeah,
and then the other thing with bringing in a guy like Miller, if the team bombs, which hopefully they don't, hopefully they win the division. But if the team bombs, say you sign him to a 2 or 3 year deal, you could then say the Mets are, I don't know, 60 and 70, whatever it is at the deadline. You could then flip Miller for prospects at the deadline. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm all for bringing in Andrew Miller. I can't. Could you imagine that bullpen with Diaz and Miller at the back end of it?
Yeah, definitely, man. You kidding me? Like that'd be great, bro.
Yeah.
Now, one last question though. I mean, and this is kind of like going out there, like, but would you trade Conforto straight up for Real Muto?
Yes, I think I would. I mean, Conforto's what now? 25, 26?
20. I think it's 20. He might be 20.
Well,
I think I looked it up yesterday. 24 or 25.
He started at 22. I know because I think he played 4 years at college. He might have played 3, but I think he played 4 years at college. He probably started in the bigs at 23. So yeah, he's probably 25, 26. Yeah, I would because even though Real Muto I think is 28, 29, and he's probably only got 3 or 4 years in him, I feel like that's the type of player that could he's the type of player that could put this team over the top. And I love Conforto. I wouldn't give up more than Conforto for him if it was just Conforto, but I think I would part with Conforto for him.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you for having me too, man. Yo, if you're listening now, like hit that like, subscribe to the Entertainer. Like, he's a good channel.
I appreciate that,
giving
man.
You that New York sports.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for being a great subscriber.
Right.
Thank you for calling in, and I'm gonna hang up. And anybody that wants to call in, please do. All right, we got another caller coming in.
New York sports.
What's going on? Oh, by the way, before we start talking, can you just turn the volume down because it's coming in an echo?
Hey, hi guys. How you doing?
What's going on? Who's this?
This is Bob from Vermont.
What is going on?
I'm from New York originally. I'm from New York originally. I lived in Queens. I miss the old Chase Stadium. Do you?
Oh my God, the old Chase Stadium. I have so many great memories as a kid. I used to go out every Wednesday.
I know.
Every Wednesday I'd go out there. I'd sit in the picnic area for free when I was a kid. I love the old Chase. I love the old Chase.
I know.
And
where are you from? Are you from Queens?
I'm originally from Long Island, North Massapequa. I now live in Brooklyn.
Oh, I used to live in the Bronx. I think the Mets did a good trade getting Robninson Cano. I think, he went over his drug problem. I think he's a good pickup. And you said they might pick up that catcher from the Marlins?
Yeah, I mean, it's a rumor. I personally think they're going to get the cheaper alternative in Maldonado and spend the money elsewhere because the Marlins are asking for a boatload for him. And I don't see that. Yeah. But we'll see. I mean,
I'm surprised that Derek Jeter can't help us out. He's a New Yorker. He should help us out.
Well, he certainly helped at the Yankees last year when he gave him.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Gave him Stanton.
Yes, I know, right? So, are you still doing the Giants, or no more Giants shows?
Oh
anymore?
yeah. No, I'm doing Giants year round. I'm streaming the game tomorrow. I'm gonna do draft coverage in the off season. I'm gonna do preseason coverage probably after the draft recaps. I'm doing Giants year-round. I'm just trying to get the baseball content up. I'm going to get the Knick content up a little bit more in the offseason as well.
Oh, they stink.
Yeah, they stink, but they have a future. They're going to have some. They're going to have some.
Okay, we're waiting for that. When will that come? The next 40 years from now? I waited. So I was born in '68. I'm waiting for them to come. The only championship they won was '72. So.
Well, they won two. They won 2 in the '70s, but at least you got to experience that.
Yeah.
I mean, you might. Well,
I was only like 4.
Yeah, so I guess you didn't. But the Knicks, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I think the Knicks could be a very good team in 2 years, but we'll see.
Closest we went was Patrick Ewing, though.
Oh yeah, that was. I remember. I was born in '85, so I got to appreciate those teams as a kid, and I felt that was that's why I always say with my friends, New York, when the Knicks are good, is a basketball town. They just haven't been good for a long time.
Long time. Hey, do you know Mr. Bad Dog?
Yeah, Mr. Bad Dog, I do a show with him every week. I was on his channel.
Yeah, he's funny, isn't he?
Oh, he's great.
He's a great guy.
Oh,
I talk to him when he does this. I'll come to your show tomorrow. I want you to see how you do that.
Yeah.
Giants up there.
Yeah, hit the subscribe. I guess you are a subscriber.
I did. Yeah, I did see you, and I hit the thumbs up today for you. You're awesome.
By the way, Mr. Bad Dog just came into the house. He was just talking about him. What is up, Bad Dog? Just stopping by to show some love to my boy Chris. Well, I appreciate that. Bad Dog. Me and Bad Dog are gonna be.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Mr. Bad Dog, how you doing, homeboy? Yeah.
We're gonna be doing.
I'll talk to him in the chat room then. I love you guys. You guys are the best.
Me and Bad Dog, we do a weekly Giant show. Actually, it's been on my channel 3 or 4 times. You can go back and look at the past episodes. I was on his channel this past week. And we're going to be doing a joint...
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and we're going to be doing a joint...
They beat Chicago. You believe they beat Chicago?
No, I can't believe it. But
I was shocked. I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah.
It took for a long time, during the end of the game, got me really having a heart attack. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I can't believe they blew that 10-point lead. But go talk to Bad Dog. Anybody who hasn't subscribed to Bad Dog, check his channel out. I'm sure most of
Yeah, he's awesome too.
He's great.
Like
and we're gonna be doing a lot of streams together in baseball season. We're gonna be doing a baseball show.
He likes the Yankees, right?
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna bring both fan bases together. We're gonna talk Mets and Yankees together.
That'd be awesome. I'm from the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx, so I like the Yankees too.
Right.
I can't stand they got rid of the old stadium too. That was horrible.
Oh yeah. Well, they renovated the old Yankees, and I'm not, to be honest with you, I guess I'm a little biased. I'm not a big fan of the new Yankee Stadium. I think it's a little overdone.
No, I'm not either. I like the old stadium. Why didn't they just keep it like they did Fenway Park?
Yeah.
Fenway Park, they just keep it up, you know?
Yeah,
It's horrible.
Fenway Park's beautiful. But
I know, it is.
Yeah, but I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get back to the chat.
Oh, yeah, I talk too much. I'm from New York.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all. You don't talk enough. But, I see some people asking some questions in the chat, so I don't want to be rude.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no problem. You're awesome. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris, my name is Bob. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, nice talking to you, Bob. I look forward to talking to you in the future.
Okay, bye now.
All right, man. So that was Bob. Thank you for calling in, Bob. Let's take a look here. What is going on, Jamie? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Yeah, we got the winter meetings tomorrow. You know what? I might do a show. If something big happens after the football game, I might do a show for the winter meetings tomorrow. Bob or Barb? Maybe it was Barb. Let me take this off. By the way, anybody who wants to call in, the number is up there. Please feel free to. We'll talk baseball for a little bit. Yeah, Steven, the new Yankee Stadium, it's way overdone. You walk in there, you feel like you're walking into a casino. It's like it doesn't have that feel. It doesn't have that baseball feel. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm biased, but I think they did a much better job with Citi Field. I love Citi Field. I think they did a great job with it. Of course, I don't have great memories from Citi Field. The Mets haven't given me too many great memories. Bobby, there he is. Yeah, so it was Bob. There it is, Bobby Woodruff. Thank you for tuning into the stream, my man. Anybody new to the channel, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell as we talk Mets baseball. I wanted to pull up Cano's stats for you guys. I got him right here, I believe. 1 second. So here's Cano's stats. He's been playing now since 2005. Of course, he started with the Bombers. He's what, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-time All-Star. He's won several Silver Sluggers. He's finished top 8 in MVP 6 times. The guy's a bona fide superstar. Last year, even though he's 35 years old and he missed half the season with the steroid thing, the good thing about him, knock on wood, you look at his games played. The guy is very healthy. Since what, 2007, he's never played less than 150 games in a season before last year with the steroids. Last year, in half a season, he had 10 home runs. He drove in 50, batted .303. So he's on pace in a pitcher's park, Seattle, to hit 20 home runs, drive in 100, and bat .303. So the guy puts up numbers. The one thing you got to worry about, if you look at his career history, he's never played in the National League. So he's going to be dealing with all new pitchers, a completely new game in the National League. So that's the one thing I worry about with Cano. I appreciate that, Bobby. I appreciate that. Legend is back in the house. What is going on, Legend? Conforto. Yeah, I love Conforto, Phil. I love Conforto. Yeah, Citi Field is gorgeous. Yeah, Mr. Bad Dog is the best. Mr. Bad Dog is the best. The show we did on this channel this week was dynamite. I can't wait to do more. What do I think of the best looking stadium in baseball? That is a great question, HS. I've been to 11 baseball stadiums. I think I said that last week. My favorite stadium I've been to, and I know Yankee fans aren't going to like hearing this, is Fenway. It just breeds baseball, but it's not the best looking stadium. It's just that it has that feel. And you know what I'm saying? When you walk in there, it's baseball. But the best looking stadium I've been to, I got to go to PNC Park. Got to go to PNC Park. But I loved San Francisco. I think it was called Pac Bell when I went there. Love San Francisco. It's right on the water. It's gorgeous. Coors Field. I loved Coors Field. Beautiful ballpark. Camden Yards is great. Yeah, there you go. Steven said Camden Yards. Camden Yards is great. Wrigley Field I went to. Unbelievable. It's hard for me to pick a favorite. I want to go to the Royals. The Royals looks like a nice stadium. There's a lot of good stadiums. I went to the new Braves Stadium. It was beautiful. It's actually very similar to Citi Field, the new Braves Stadium. Bobby, Fenway is the best. When you walk in there, it is that's what baseball's supposed to be about. You feel like he's going to have a better time in the National League? Jamie, I hope so. I hope he does. I just always worry about that when hitters change leagues because it's a different game. It really is. And then real quick, I'm going to pull up Diaz stats for you. This guy was unbelievable last year. If you look at Diaz's stats. Philly Stadium, actually, Bobby, and I hate the Phillies, but Philly Stadium is very similar to Citi Field. It's the same exact architect, actually, believe it or not, and it looks very similar to Philly Stadium. I actually like Philly Stadium. And then when you pull up Diaz's stats here, here's Diaz's stats. The guy's only been in the league for 3 years. He, of course, was an All-Star last year. He won the Relief Man of the Year award last year. And the last 2 years, the guy's been out of this world. Last year in particular, he was so good, he finished 18th in MVP for a relief pitcher. 8th in the Cy Young race. Of course, he was an All-Star. 57 saves. 57 saves in 73 innings pitched. This doesn't show blown saves, but he couldn't have had many. He only gave up 41 hits in 73 innings. He had a whip of under .8. The guy last year was the best relief pitcher in baseball. 1.96 ERA, 124 Ks in 73 innings. You're talking almost 2 Ks per 2 Ks per inning rather. His K per 9 rate is right here. 15.2 Ks per 9 innings pitch. Ridiculous number. He has a 14.2 for his career. This guy is a bona fide stud, and the Mets are going to have him under team control for the next 4 years. So this was a huge get for the Mets. Huge get to solidify the back end of that bullpen. Stadium not really good. What stadium are you talking about, Ligma? Tropicana Park, Steven. I went there when I was a kid. I saw Ichiro play there, actually, his rookie year. I was excited. That stadium is awful. Disgusting. It's the worst stadium I've ever been to in all of sports. It's that bad. It's the what? Bad dog. It is the worst. The absolute worst. Angel Stadium I went to, Ligma. I went to Angel Stadium, and Angel Stadium is actually very nice. I liked Angel Stadium. With the rocks out in center field, and they had the fireworks show when I went. I actually loved Angel Stadium. One of my favorite parks I've been to. Diaz is legit, but how will he respond to... That's a good question, Phil. We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet, but the guy has stuff. And it was a good get by the Mets. Now, a lot of people are going to debate that the Mets gave up too much. They're going to, debate the contract that they brought in with Cano. Now, when you break down Cano's contract, I have not. I'm going to have to check it out, Bobby, after the show. Now, if you break down Cano's contract, he's making $120 million over the next 5 years. But the Mariners, of course, $820 of it, so that knocks it down to $100. Now, a lot of people are saying 5 years, $100 million for a 36-year-old second baseman. That's way too much, and you'd be right. But it's not. When you really look into it, it's not really $100 million because they were able to shed themselves of the Bruce contract, and they were able to shed themselves of the Swarzak contract. So now you're talking an additional, I think it was $32, $33 million. Somewhere, we'll say 35, we'll round up. So $35 million coming off. That means you're really only bringing in 65. So it's really 5 years, $65 million for Cano, and then you get the best relief pitcher in baseball at an affordable rate for the next 4 years. So I actually like the trade. I do. I think Cano's going to help that lineup for the next 2 or 3 years. They're going to regret it the last 2 years of that contract or so. But I like the trade. I think you're going to put Cano in that 3 spot. You're going to have Cespedes when he comes back, hopefully in the 4. Conforto in the 5. I like that 3, 4, 5. We'll see if they add any more bats. But I like the pickup. I think the Mets are going to contend this year. I really do. I like Pollock, Jamie. The only thing that you got to worry about with Pollock is, of course, the injuries. That's what you got to worry about. The guy, matter of fact, I'll pull up Pollock's numbers for you guys real quick. I like Pollock. I'm actually curious. I haven't looked at his splits because that's one thing I'd be concerned with because Arizona is a great hitter's ballpark. So we'll see Pollock's numbers home and away. And, of course, he gets hurt a lot. That's the thing you got to worry about with Pollock. Bad dog. Well, one thing, Bad Dog, I will say about Cano, because I watch some Yankee games when I can. I remember with the Yankees, he didn't run out a lot of balls, and that's one thing I can't stand in my ball players. And I'm probably gonna pull my hair out if I see it when he's with the Mets. The craziest fans is the Red Sox, in my opinion. In baseball, it's the Red Sox. The best fans, I'll say this, and I'm a Met fan. Okay, the best fans possibly in all of sports are St. Louis Cardinals fans. Those fans are terrific. Great fan base they have in St. Louis. So Pollock, let's pull up his numbers here. I'm going to pull up his numbers for you guys. Let's pull this up here. Yeah, lack of hustle, bad dog. 100%, I agree with that. I can't stand that. There we go. Here's Pollock. So Pollock last year, he had 413. You look at this guy. He's only played one full season. He had 157 games played in 2015. He was, of course, that was his best year. He was an All-Star. Came in 14th for the MVP award. Won a Gold Glove. So the guy's a complete player. He could run. He could hit. He could play defense. Now I'm curious to look at his splits. The last 2 years, Pollock has missed on average about 50 games. He played 112, 113. So he's definitely injury prone. And as I said, as I alluded to, he plays in Arizona where the ball flies. Last year in 113 games, he had 21 home runs and he stole 13 bases. The year before, in about the same amount of games, 14 home runs, stole 20 bases. Batting average about the same, right in that 260 range. He's a career 281 hitter. Now let's look at the splits, because that is what I am intrigued by with him. Because, as I said, his home and aways are very important to me because Arizona is a hitter's park. Now we're going to look at 2018 Pollock splits here. Alright, so he played 60 games at home. At home, he batted 278 with a 517 slugging and an 859 OPS rather. Away, a big disparity. He dropped by 120 points in the OPS. His slugging, his on-base percentage was only 288, and he only batted 235. Let's take a look at 2017, see if that's an anomaly or not. Let's pull up the 2017 numbers. That I don't like seeing. That I do not like seeing. Especially coming to a pitcher's park. I don't like seeing that. 2017, let's look at the splits. Same thing. Well, the on-base percentage is about the same. The batting average dips 30 points. The OPS dips 100 points. He only had 5 home runs on the road as opposed to 9 at home. He is a much better player at Arizona where the ball flies. So you're not getting the same ball player. That's a fact. You're not getting the same ball player at Citi Field. That's a fact. One giant rebuttal. I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, my man. Most boring fan. Big Oso, thank you for tuning in the stream, my man. Thank you for tuning in the stream. Do I think the media is going to start asking Cano about it? Yes. Yes, I do eventually. 100%. They should. No, Bad Dog's from upstate New York, Bobby. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm originally from Massapequa, Long Island. I appreciate you guys tuning in the stream, by the way. Anybody who hasn't done so, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. It does help the channel out. I know this is starting small. I'm hoping this builds up as the Mets season approaches. I figured I'd start right around the winter meetings, and then the Cano trade happened. So I said, you know what, I'll start to show up now. You know, last week when it was rumored, now it went through. So I'm going to try to talk Mets every Saturday. Once football season's over, I'll probably start with the night shows with baseball. But right now, obviously, I'm dedicating my Sunday. I'm only off Sundays and Mondays. Those are the nights I could stream. So I'm dedicating my Sundays to football, occasionally doing a Monday night football game. The Knicks when they play Monday night. So right now, I'm dedicating my time to that. But once football season's over, I'll probably start streaming some baseball at night. I appreciate that one giant rebuttal. Yeah, I appreciate that. Who's some of your guys' favorite players of all time, by the way? I always love talking historical baseball. Who's some of your guys' favorite players of all time? I said in the last stream, my favorite player of all time is Vlad Guerrero. I loved everything about him. I live within 7 or 8 minutes of Levittown. I have tons of friends from Levittown, Bobby. Ken Griffey Jr. was out of this world. Out of this world. Do you think we should trade? Yeah, somebody asked me that earlier, Jamie. I think I would go for the cheaper catcher alternative only because the Marlins' asking price is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Landon's not a baseball fan. Well, I appreciate you tuning in anyway, Landon. Hopefully my show makes you a baseball fan. David Wright was a class act, Jamie. Class act. I don't, Bobby. I don't. Mark McGwire, Howard Johnson, Edgardo Alfonso. Edgardo Alfonso is my favorite Met of all time. I loved Alfonso. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's pull up his numbers. I loved Alfonso. Alfonso, my favorite Met of all time. He was the clutchest hitter I've ever seen in a Mets uniform. And he was so good with defense. He played second. He played third. He was great. He was part of that all-world infield in that 99 season. My favorite Met of all time is Edgardo Alfonso. Ricky and Jose Reyes, Philip. I always say this, and Yankee fans aren't going to like hearing this. For a career, it's not even close. Derek Jeter blows him out of the water. They're not going to like hearing this, though. Jose Reyes, at his best, in my opinion, was more talented than Derek Jeter. That's how good Jose Reyes was when he was at his peak. I've never seen a player like him. Randy Johnson, come to think of it, Randy Johnson was out of this world. Those Mariners teams, I can't believe they didn't win championships. Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr., Alex Rodriguez, Randy Johnson. Those teams were stacked. Of course, the Yankees beat them in the 90. Oh, no, I think the Mariners beat the Yankees in the 95 playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Don Mattingly. Unbelievable bad dog. I heard the other day that the Mets are going to try to trade Cespedes. I would love to trade Cespedes because his contract is awful. It's going to hinder the team. The guy's an injury waiting to happen. Oh, yeah, Steve. Jeter is much better. Much better than Reyes for a career. But Reyes, that guy was out of this world. I did, Bavith, actually. I did see Beckham practice with the Yankees. I did. Let me pull up. I said I was going to pull up Alfonso's number. I loved Alfonso. As clutch as they come. Here's Alfonso's numbers here, by the way, guys. I always like to do this. When I love looking at baseball stats. Here's Alfonso, my favorite Met ever. His career was short-lived. He had injuries, whatever. He retired at 32. But his prime years with the Mets, you look at it, his best years were really from about 98 to 2000. Those were his prime years. And now keep in mind, this guy's a second baseman. 99, he goes 304, 27, 108. He's got an 886 OPS. Came in, 8th place for the MVP that year. Won a Silver Slugger. And then the following year, he follows it up with a 324 batting average, 25 and 94. Comes in 15th. Guy was a great player. Great New York Met. And his clutch hitting was out of this world. You look at his strikeouts. You can never strike this guy out. This isn't an era where everybody's striking out 150 times. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's swinging for the fences. This guy never struck out more than 85 times in a season. Great baseball player. I loved Alfonso. All right, Bad Dog. Thank you for tuning in, my man. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Oh, Wade Boggs is a great hitter. Great Yankee, too. So, yeah, I'm going to be on here for about another half hour. I got work at 12:30. So, anybody wants to call in, by the way, feel free to call. 914-481-3540. Oh, my God. You own the Ryan Church jersey? McEwing, everybody loved. He was like that super utility guy that everybody loved. But Ryan Church, what were you thinking, bro? Actually, trivia question. You could ask this to all your Met friends out there. If you didn't know, you probably do if you're a diehard Met fan. The last player to record an out at Shea Stadium was Ryan Church. Ryan Church hit that bomb. Tino Martinez was great, Bobby. Great Yankee. The great Bam Tino. Ryan Church hit that. It was to make the playoffs. The last year at Shea, I think if they would have won the game, they would have made the playoffs. And Church hits a missile down. I'm watching the game at a bar because it was football Sunday. So I was getting ready to watch the Giants, actually. I think they were playing at 4. And Church hits a bomb. Off the bat, I thought it was a home run. I thought it was gone. And it came up like 10 feet short. And it would have been, I think, a game-tying or game-winning home run. Mike Piazza, you want Piazza's stat? Sure, I'll pull up Piazza's. Not Piazza, I mean, Piazza, the greatest hitting catcher of all time. Not even close. No, you're right. You're right, Meet the Mets. He did have the first half of the season. He was hot. Similar to Derek Bell. Remember Derek Bell from the 2000 Mets? He had that great first half, and then he fell off. And then, of course, Timo Perez took over in the playoffs. Kentucky Wildcat. Kentucky, who they playing today, Landon? That Kentucky team they're always good. Oh, Mo Vaughn, former MVP. What was it, 95? He won the MVP for the Red Sox. Giant rebuttal. Great offensive player. Great first baseman. Mo Vaughn hit the longest home run. Matter of fact, let's see if I can pull up that video. Well, I don't want to risk my channel. But if you ever get a chance to see that home run, if you haven't seen it when he was with the Mets, Mo Vaughn hit the longest home run I've ever seen at Shea. He hit the top of the scoreboard. An absolute monster. Do I work at a pizza place? No, I do not. I'm a cable technician, Bobby. In fact, you know how many trolls I've gotten No, they don't. Volaire, they don't play. They don't play. But right now it's heating up with the trade talks and the winter meetings are coming up. So I'm starting my Mets content once a week. You know how many times people have told me that I should start flipping pizzas and getting off YouTube? I get a lot of trolls who say that. Let's pull up Piazza's numbers here for you guys. Somebody Bobby requested Piazza's numbers, so we're gonna pull that up for you guys. Mike Piazza, the greatest hitting catcher in the history of baseball. Period. End of story. His prime years, his best year was actually the year before he came to the Mets. What just happened there? Why did I lose it? I guess I lost it. I lost the feed for some reason. Okay. But Piazza, his last year before he came to the Mets with the Dodgers, he had 40 home runs, 124 RBIs, and he batted .362 for a catch. That's ridiculous. I work at Spectrum, Landon. I work at Spectrum. Bavit, is Derek Jeter the face of New York? In my lifetime, he is. All time, you got to go Babe Ruth. But yes, Derek Jeter, I mean, he's probably the face of baseball over the last 20 years. The guy did everything right. He's very similar to Eli Manning. Clutch player, never got in trouble, was the epitome of a captain. 505 feet. Yeah, Steve, that home run was insane. That guy, when he got into one, and I think, who did they trade? They traded Kevin Appier for Vaughn, right? I remember being happy with that trade. That, of course, was the offseason where the Mets brought in all the superstars, or the former superstars. They came to the Mets, they sucked. They brought in Mo Vaughn, they brought in Robbie Alomar, they brought in Jeremy Burnett, Roger Cedeno for a second time. And that team was one of probably the biggest disappointment since I've been a Met fan. Because I had huge hopes. Art Howell, of course, came in as the manager. He was awful. That team was such a letdown. I actually went to opening day that year. I think the Mets lost, I think it was like 16-1. Something stupid like that. I remember watching Cedeno. Cedeno was playing center field. It was one of the few games he played center field that year because that guy couldn't field to save his life. And they had a routine fly ball to Cedeno, and he backs up to the warning track. The ball falls 40 feet in front of him. Do I have a whole super mafia of Johnnies? Ligma, the Giants haven't won enough games this year for me to get more than one bottle. If the Giants have a good year next year, I'm probably gonna have to get 2 or 3 bottles. But this year the Giants have been awful. Bavit, if I could, I would, my man. If I could, they charge me. They don't charge me much as an employee, but I get charged like $10 a month. Oh, you got Spectrum. Unfortunately, you live in Kentucky, so I'm not gonna be able to service your house. Maybe one day I'll swing by Bavit. You never know. But I appreciate you guys tuning in the stream. I always love talking sports with you guys, whether it be Mets, whether it be Knicks, whatever it is. I'm going to have a Neil Aquina video up hopefully tonight. Anybody that's a Knicks fan, I'm going to talk about that. That's a huge topic going on right now in New York sports. The rumored trade, the Knicks getting rid of Neil Aquina. So we'll see with that. I don't think they're going to trade him, but it's something to talk about. And I'm not a Neil Aquina guy. There's a lot of Knicks fans that love this guy. I think he's got potential. But if I could get something for him, I would probably trade him. But I'd have to get something good, but I would probably trade him. Oh, that class of shortstops was out of this world. Nomar Garciaparra, one giant rebuttal. Let me see if I can pull up. Let me see if it pops up. No, I don't know why it's not popping up, but whatever. Nomar Garciaparra, when he was healthy, one of the best pure hitters I've ever seen. One of the best pure hitters I've ever seen in my entire life. He batted like he was almost hitting 400 at the. I think he was hitting 400 one year at the All-Star break. Christmas Day probably not. Probably not. Maybe at night if there's something. Well, Christmas Day is of course all the big NBA games. Is there any football that day? I don't think there's any football that day, right? Of course the Knicks play Christmas. Yeah, do I, Bavit? It could. I mean, the Mets have had their fair share of busts with acquisitions of second basemen. You mentioned Alomar, of course. Carlos Baerga was another one, and I alluded to that '95 Indians lineup. What's going on, Tam Hill, my man? That '95. I don't know if it was last stream or another stream I was in. That '95 Indians lineup that Carlos Baerga was a part of. Unbelievable. That Indians team should have won 5 championships. You had Baerga when he was probably the best offensive second baseman in baseball. Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome, Who else was on that team? They had a bunch of superstars. Albert Bell, who was one of the best hitters. He led the league, I believe, over the decade of the 90s for home runs and RBIs. He had like 930, 100 seasons. That team was stacked. Best lineup I've ever seen. Omar Vizquel, Sandy Alomar. Danish, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Ridiculous, Steve. Ridiculous. Of course, their problem was pitching. Charles Nagy was their best pitcher. They didn't have the arms. Ed Oliver. Yeah, Ed Oliver Ligma is a guy I'm going to do a preview on. Anybody who hasn't checked out my preview video, by the way, check it out. I'm going to do that once a week for the NFL draft. I'm probably going to start doing NBA draft preview videos as well in a month or so, with as the Knicks season gets going. Jet Central is in the house. JC is normally going to be on this show, by the way. He's actually on vacation. Anybody who hasn't checked out Jet Central's channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Great football content, great guy. We're actually going to be doing a stream together during the playoffs first round. He's coming to New York. We're going to be streaming every NFL playoff game together that week, and of course the college football championship. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to alternate channels. He's going to come on mine. I'm going to go on his. We're going to try to get subscribers going together. But JC, a huge Met fan, he's normally going to be on this show. So, but today he actually went back and visited his family from Connecticut. I got a call coming in, guys. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. What is going on?
Hey, yo, it's Meet the Mets. What's going on, Chris?
Meet the Mets in the house. Huge. By the way, he's got a YouTube channel as well. If you haven't done so, check his out. Meet the Mets. What is going on, brother? What's going on?
What's going on, pal? Nothing. Sitting here at work listening to you guys talk the Mets. I'm loving it.
There's nothing. There's nothing better.
No, it's great. It's almost as good as Evan and Joe. Almost. Not quite, but almost. I'm gonna throw some scenarios at you with this bullpen.
Go ahead.
I need some ideas from you. What do you think? Andrew Miller, and then they sign Familia back for a cheaper rate. Because listen, when Familia was on his game, he was good, and obviously he's not going to be the starter.
Right.
So if we could have him as like a middle fucking 6th or 7th guy, and then bring in Andrew Miller for the 8th, and then shut it down with Diaz. What's your thoughts about that? I'm going to hang up and let you talk.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, my man. As far as...
You got it, brother.
Yeah, Familia, I didn't even think about him. They haven't talked about him. Of course, he was a great closer. In 2015, I believe he won the relief award. I think he was the best relief pitcher in baseball. Of course, he choked in the World Series. But Familia is a great relief pitcher when he's healthy. Would I bring him back? Depending on the contract, yeah. I mean, he still obviously has a ton of potential. Yeah, for the right deal, I'm not gonna spend $12, $13, $14 million on him. But if I could bring him back for $8 million, maybe, yeah, why not? If you got those three at the back of your, then the game's over in the 5th inning. You got those three Familias on his game with Familia, Andrew Miller, and Diaz. Forget about it. Yes, of course, I'd bring Familia back if it was the right deal. I love that idea actually by Meet the Mets. My only knock on the Mets is they always take players past their primes. I could see the Mets. Yeah, no, they do. They do. You go down the list, one giant rebuttal. They do it all the time. And Cano is past his prime, but I think this deal made sense because you brought in the league's best closer at 24 years old and you have him under team control. Ass Bagel says Yankees over the Mets. I'm not gonna debate that. I'm not gonna debate that. What's going on, G-Man? What is going on? We're talking some baseball today. Of course, we're going to have the Giants stream on tomorrow. Anybody who hasn't heard, I'm going to be, hopefully, I haven't gotten in contact with him yet, but he usually responds pretty quick. I'm going to try to have Kid Blue, who I love. I love Kid Blue on the pregame tomorrow. So I'm probably going to try to go live at 12 tomorrow, talk some Giants football for an hour with Kid Blue, and then I'm going to stream the game like I always do. Jet Central is the best, H-Huts. The absolute best. Dane Martin, what is going on? Thank you for tuning into the stream. I think Cano will have a good year, as long as he doesn't get popped for steroids. I think he will have a good year, Tam. What about Red Ellison Bavith? Yeah, everybody does. I'm a weird guy. I'm a weird guy. I told my story last week about how I became a Mets fan. I don't know what it is, man. I just if I go back in time, trust me, I would probably pick the Yankees. If I was a little kid, I would tell myself, you don't want to go through this heartache. But, once you pick your team, you got to stick with it. I picked the Mets when I was a kid. Yeah, Kid Blue's great. Kid Blue's great, Meet the Mets. I'm hoping he'd come on the show. He was going to come on last week, but I had the problems with the OBS. Yeah, Steve, I mean, yeah, you're right, though. He got Ligma. Hold on. I didn't hear about any of this. Let me look this up real quick. Red Ellison, of course, has been great for the Giants this year. Yeah, I do. I like to root for the underdog. The Giants, of course, aren't really traditionally the underdog, but yeah, I do. I like to root for the underdog. I always root for the underdog when I'm impartial in a game. And by the way, I'm going to be doing a lot of NCAA. Hopefully, the NCAA tournament. I love that. Probably streaming some of those games. I might do a segment where I come on live. We do our brackets together. I think that'd be fun. Something like that. Not that serious. Okay. It takes guts to be a true diehard Met fan is right, Meet the Mets. You're right about that. Oh, I messed up the joke. My apologies. Yeah, baseball season tickets are insane. Yeah, I actually I used to get the I think it was like a 20-game package for the Mets. I did it from about 2014 to 2017, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna stop because I see all these tickets when the Mets do poorly. I go to the game for $6 on StubHub. Why am I? The only positive you get from is you get face value playoff tickets. But when the Mets miss the playoffs, you waste so much money. Yeah, no, you're right, Rebuttal. The Giants were an underdog franchise until they got LT, and then they became since they got LT. Since I was born, I think there's only one team that's won more Super Bowls. I was born in '85. The Pats have the most. The Giants have the second most. Am I buying season tickets next year? Let's see if my YouTube channel takes off. Maybe I will. Maybe we'll go to a couple of games together. That'd be cool. By the way, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. 10,000 subs if I ever get there. My plan is to give away tickets to a game. But 2,500, which I'm about 150 away, I'm going to be doing another giveaway. I did a giveaway at 1,000 subs. I'm going to do 2,500. Maybe I'll give another hat away. 5,000, I'll be doing something a little bigger, maybe a jacket, something like that. And then 10, I'm going to be, hopefully, if I ever get there, doing doing tickets. Whether it be the Mets, Knicks, Giants, whatever. I'll split season tickets with you. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see, Meet the Mets. We'll see. Let's see what the Mets do for the rest of the offseason. What's going on, J-Dog? Thank you for tuning into the stream, my man. What is going on? J-Dog, you a baseball fan? Anybody new to the stream, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to ring the bell, and please subscribe. Notice me, Landon. I'm noticing you right now, my man. What is going on, Landon? Now, Now, obviously, we know the three starters for the Mets going into the year. Your Yankees first, okay. We know the three starters going into the year at the top of the rotation. You assume it's DeGrom, Syndergaard. Of course, if they don't make any more big splashes, DeGrom, Syndergaard, and Wheeler. I figure Matz is probably the 4. And who do you think they'll bring in somebody to be the 5? Who do you think will be the 5? Mark Sanchez is going to get torn up tomorrow. You can book it. Mark my words. He's going to get torn up. I think Vargas is still in the contract, right? Let me take a look. Let me take a look real quick. Where is Vargas? Oh, there he is. Yeah, Vargas is making $8 million, and he was horrible last year. Making that much money, he's probably going to be the 5th starter going in, unfortunately. 27-13 Giants. I like that. I like that prediction, Bad Dog. Thoughts on Mark Sanchez right quick. I think Mark Sanchez is a complete bust. Complete bust. Now, I will say this. If there's any Jet fans in the stream, Mark Sanchez, the Jets ruined him. And I'm not saying he was ever going to be great. He wasn't. He wasn't the most talented quarterback in the world. But he was proven. He was a proven winner. He went to the AFC title game 2 years in a row. And then you bring in Tim Tebow. You bring in Tim Tebow and Michael Vick. What are you doing? They ruined him. They ruined his confidence. They shattered him. Now, of course, he was weak. If he couldn't handle that, he's not meant for New York. But I don't know what the hell the Jets were doing there. They had a guy that could have been their quarterback for the next 10, 15 years, and they ruined him. Tim Tebow actually plays in the outfield. Gio Gonzalez, I've heard that name, Jamie. I've heard Gio Gonzalez. A lot of people have talked about him potentially coming to the Mets. I don't know how much he would cost. I hear you, Bavith. I hear you, Bavith. If you even come by for a minute, I appreciate it. You know that. So, Bavith always makes the chat fun. That makes me sad. Bavith, of course, tricked me last week with the spider. Drew Pomeranz, that's another guy. Drew Pomeranz, of course, had 1 or 2 really good years with the Red Sox. He'd be an interesting guy to put at the back end of that rotation. Oh my God! Thank you so much, Meet the Mets. I really do appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Meet the Mets. It means a lot. Thank you so much for that. I missed your prediction. 31-10 Dallas over the Eagles. No, Landon. I don't think it'll be that big of a blowout. I think it'll be closer than that. You feel like Harper will go to the Phillies or the White Sox? Yeah, that's the rumor I've been hearing. But now Mitch the God Trubisky. I'm getting a call real quick. Let me take this. Steven, thank you for tuning in the stream, Steve. I appreciate it. What's going on? You're on live with the Entertainer.
Yo, Chris, it's Bad Dog. What's going on, my man?
Bad Dog in the house. What's going on, brother?
There's no way I could watch this and not give you a call. So I like the show, man. You know, I'm not a Mets fan, obviously, but I like what you're doing with this. I just wanted to call up and tell you a little bit about Cano, if you don't know. The one thing I worry about with Cano is obviously he excelled at Yankee Stadium because of a short porch in right field. Cano, when he's at his best, uses all fields. No doubt about it. But sometimes he gets pull happy, and this is why he's struggling in Seattle. It's a bigger park. He can't hit the same amount of home runs he did, and he's got to change his swing. If he's going to succeed for you guys, he's got to use all fields. I mean, Citi Field is a big ballpark. Cano's got to use all the fields. He can't get pull happy, and he's got to hustle. I mean, he used to kill me with the lack of hustle. You know, he's going on. I think he's going to be 37 this year.
Yeah, 36, I think. But yeah, he's up there. Yeah.
So I just, we'll see what he does. I always loved Cano when he was at the Yankees. I mean, I have a Cano jersey when he was number 22 because I loved the guy. But towards the end, I think he went out his welcome a little bit. He obviously went for the money in Seattle because it was a bigger contract. I mean, he got 10 years, $240 million there. The Yankees offered him 7 years for $175. So we actually offered him more money per season. But he wanted the money, which kind of irritated me. Coming from a Yankee fan,
I hear that. I'd be irritated too. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it sounds a little strange coming from a Yankee fan since we spent all kinds of money. But Cano could have been the greatest second baseman in the history of our franchise, and he chose to go to Seattle. And he who even knows about Robninson Cano playing out there? I'm happy for him that he came back to New York because and I'm rooting for him. I hope he has a big year for you guys so people can remember how great he was. I mean, he was a fan favorite here, and he had a lot of big years for us. So I hope he succeeds for the Mets.
Yeah, well, Cano, you said, and he wasn't the same ball player with Seattle as he was with the Yankees, but Cano was still a pretty good player with Seattle. Last year, he only played half the year. He had 10 home runs, 50 RBIs, and he batted .303 in 80 games. So I think Cano, if he gives me those numbers next year over a 160-game stretch, you give me 20 and 100 with a 300 average, I'll sign up for that right now.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
No, the thing I worry about with Cano, as I alluded to earlier in the stream, was the switching of leagues. A lot of players struggle with that when they go from one league to another because it's a completely different game. So that's one thing I do worry about with Cano next year.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to have to get used to the pitchers. He's going to have to get used to the NL game. But one thing that a lot of people do overlook about Cano, great defender. I mean, he made some plays at second base. I mean, it's just ridiculous. His range, his arm strength. Like I loved watching him play second base. He was so fluid and just he would be behind on the shortstop side of second base, just kind of toss the ball underhanded from behind his hip and throw a bullet to first base. So you're going to get Gold Glove second base defense there, which is definitely going to help you out.
Yeah. They're talking about he's definitely going to play second probably the next 2 or 3 years. They're talking about potentially shifting him to first base for the last 2 years of his career. And who knows? Yeah. And who knows with all the rumors? They're saying potentially a DH might be in the National League probably before the end of his career. So we'll see. But I like the acquisition because of the money that was taken back. But I completely understand people that are down on it because the Mets gave away I think it was their second or third best prospect, and you are paying this guy now till he's 41. So I do understand. I do understand the backlash. To me, the big part of the Diaz was the big guy in that trade. The 24-year-old closer.
Yeah, that is the whole thing. I mean, we got a good pitching prospect from Seattle too. He just never panned out, and Jose Campos. But Seattle, Seattle's got good prospects, man, and like I said, we'll see what happens. I'm kind of on the fence just because, again, you have him till he's 41 years old. He's making a lot of money. I know Seattle picked up a lot of it, which helps. But again, I'm rooting for him, man. I hope he does well for you guys. And I'm a Yankee fan, and I know a lot of Mets fans hate the Yankees. I have no ill will towards the Mets whatsoever. So I definitely don't hate the Mets. I hate the Red Sox. I can't stand the freaking Red Sox. That's a team I can't stand. Any hate I had for the Mets goes into the Red Sox too. I can't stand them. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I got to run some errands here, but I wanted to call on the show, say I love your work, brother, and I can't wait to work with you on Tuesday. And let's go Giants on Sunday, baby.
Yeah, I just want to say, anybody who hasn't checked out this man's channel, check it out, Mr. Bad Dog 7676. Oh my God, Giant Rebuttal, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are great. And I'll get to you guys in a second, but thank you for coming on, Bad Dog. And by the way, we're going to be talking baseball in season, maybe even right after football season. We'll get into it, whatever it is. But we're going to have a joint Met-Yankee show, which I'm really looking forward to.
Absolutely, man. All right, you have a good day, brother. Everyone in the chat, take care. I'll see you guys next time. See you tomorrow.
All right, Bad Dog.
Later, brother.
Great guy. As I said, Bad Dog's the best. Consider this a tip for the Josh Allen video. One Giant Rebuttal, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And for that, One Giant Rebuttal, for that super chat, I'm going to let you pick the next guy I do the video about. So, shout out right now. Whoever you want, that will be my next video in the upcoming week. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Tam Hill says Cano is a guaranteed 300 hitter. Yeah, I mean, he's proven that over the course of his career. I think he's a 303, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let me pull up his stats again. I think he's a 30. All right, Greg Little. That's who I'll do it on then. Yeah, Greg Little, probably a guy that they definitely could end up drafting. So Cano is a career 304 hitter. And he's consistent as they come. I mean, maybe not guaranteed 300, but he's guaranteed upper 280s. He's going to be between 285 and 310. That's what he's going to do. You look at what he's done. And a knock on wood, because we know the Mets have bad luck. But look at his games played. 159, 161, 160, 59, 161, 160, 150. The guy plays over 150 every year. And that is a huge attribute. That's something we know as Giant fans with Eli Manning. It's very important to have a guy that can stay on the field. No, J-Dog, I don't. I do not think he'll be good till 41. I think the Mets will get 3 good years out of Cano. That's what I'm hoping for. And then you pay for it on the back end. Of course, Giant Rebuttal, the guy I did the preview on this week, Josh, I love Josh Allen. If I could have one guy that I want to be a Giant in this year's upcoming draft, it would probably be Josh Allen. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be there when we draft. Because I think the Giants are going to win probably 7 games this year. And they're probably going to be picking in that 13, 14, 15 range. I doubt he's going to be there. A guy like Greg Little is a realistic possibility. And he's probably the second best offensive lineman on my board behind Jonah Williams. So Little I will definitely be doing a video on this upcoming week. Am I into fighting, H-House? I'm not a big fight fan. Not a big fight fan. I do watch the big fights. I bought the pay-per-view for the McGregor versus Mayweather fight. I watched it. My friend's a big UFC fan, so I'll go to a bar to watch UFC fights from here and there. But I'm not a big fight fan. I may do a stream of a fight if there's a huge fight in the future. I may do a live stream of that in the future. But I'm not big into boxing, not big into the MMA. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go on for another 5 minutes. By the way, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. I'm gonna be live for the Giants. I want to say thank you to Meet the Mets again for his super chat. One Giant Rebuttal, you guys are the best. Thank you guys so much. By the way, check out Rebuttal's channel. He's new. He's upcoming. Check it out. He does. It's a cool idea. I thought when I heard about it, I actually found out about it when I tuned into Big Blue Unbiased, who I will say he's very well spoken. I don't agree with most of his opinions, but I do enjoy his content. And as One Giant Rebuttal always says, he likes to get all perspectives. I disagree with most of it, but I think he's very well spoken, and I think he presents his opinions very well. But that's how I found out about One Giant Rebuttal's channel. I saw him posted on his, and I checked it out. And basically what his channel's about is he goes on Giants YouTubers' pages, whether it be Mr. Bad Dog, me, Rover Sports, Unbiased, Ron Effect, and he rebuts things that he disagrees with. And I actually think it's a cool idea for a channel. So Check it out if you get the chance. Bobby, I appreciate that, my man. I enjoy talking to you, brother. Even though you're coming all the way from Vermont. I've been to Vermont once. Vermont was, it's a beautiful place. I went up there to ski. Actually, I've been there twice. Been there twice. I like Vermont. A little too cold for me. I don't think I'd want to live there year-round, but I do enjoy it. I got the maple syrup while I was there. But I want to say thank you to each of EDP. Howdy, what's going? I just saw this. EDP Charlotte Toilet. Howdy, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in to the stream. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for tuning in. I always do like to show my appreciation for my subscribers. The Entertainer Talking Sports #1 fan. Go Mets. So now I know Bad Dog has one of those. Now I got one. I got an Entertainer Talking Sports #1 fan. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Thank you for being a big fan. You guys are the best. Trade Jonathan Stewart to the Niners for a second. The thing is, though, Ligma, I don't think that's feasible. Because why would the Niners ever? At this point, Stewart's not worth a 7th round pick. I'll check it out. Is that a pay-per-view, Giant Rebuttal, or is that on live TV? Brian Ortega. You live in Brattleboro. I'm not very familiar with Vermont, to be honest with you, Bobby. I only went up there twice, so I'm not sure where that is. Pay-per-view, okay. But yeah, we don't have any thirds, but we have the ability to trade up to the third. I mean, because we have a first, a second, and then we have 9 picks from rounds 4 to 7. So we definitely have the ability to package those picks if we want and move up to get possibly a second or a third. Or trade some of those picks and get some picks for the future draft, which gives us ammunition to then trade up and get a guy like Tua. So the Giants are going to have options to trade in this draft. They could also, of course, always trade down. If they don't love the guy they're going to get in the first round, they might say, you know what, we don't like the guy we're going to get at 10. Let's trade down. Let's accumulate more future picks. So they could do that. The Patriots have done that for years. Sancho, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Yeah, MMA's crazy. I'm not into it, but I do see the attraction. You know what I'm saying? I do see it. I'm just not into it. The Niners are dumb, Ligma. You're right. The Bears. Nathan Hill, thank you for tuning in the stream. By the way, Nathan, I don't know if it was you. I think it was you a couple of streams ago that asked about Insomnia Sports. We're going to keep doing that. It's just we've all been on tight schedules the last couple of weeks. JC's on vacation right now. I've been trying to pump out my content, but we are definitely going to be on that. JC and me are going to be streaming together during the playoffs, and one of the streams will definitely be on that channel. We're going to try to build that channel up in the playoffs. We figure if we do some streams together on our own channels, and then we try to bring traffic over to the new channel, that'll help that channel grow. So we're working on it. It's just, you know, a lot of work to try to do it all at once. You got it, One Giant Rebuttal. You got it, my man. Mets 2019 World Series. I hope so. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's not out of the question. EDP Sharded Toilets #1 fan. It's not out of the question. I mean, I'm not predicting it. But if they bring in the pieces and then people stay healthy, if the Mets make the playoffs with that starting rotation and the potential bullpen that they may have if they bring in Andrew Miller, why not? Get in the playoffs, see what happens. Yes, I did, Bavith. I did watch that video. It was a good video by Cop Pizzle. Cop Pizzle, another great Giant YouTuber. I'm sure you guys know who he is. If you haven't done so, sub him up. I would love to do, I was talking to Bad Dog about this. I would love to do a draft video this year, potentially, if we could get everyone together, whether it be streamed or in person, whatever, where my favorite Giant YouTubers, whether it be Bad Dog, Kid Blue, Cop Pizzle, we all get together and we stream the draft together. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Or just we stream over the internet. Brandon McNeely, what is going on, my man? What is going on, my man? Thank you for tuning into the stream. I did, Nathan Hill. I did see what he got paid. It was crazy. Insane. Yeah, Bavith, I might. I think Cop Pizzle said he is probably going to Lucas Oil. And I think Rover Sports is too. So I might end up going to Lucas Oil to stream there. The problem is you're not going to be able to really stream while you're actually at the draft because you're going to be pissing people off. So I don't think you'd be able to do that. But I might. We'll see. Yeah, Brendan, actually, you came in late. I got to go. I'm going to go for 5 more minutes because you just tuned in. I love you. I planned on ending at 11:45. I got work at 12:30, so I got to get ready. But you can always go back and watch it. We talked Mets. We broke a little bit into football talk, a tiny bit of Knicks. By the way, Brendan, I'm gonna have a Neil Keena video up. I'm hoping tonight. I wanted to get it done last night, but I got home from work so late. Of course, the whole thing with Neil Keena got going on with the trade rumors, with the benching of him for 3 games straight. So I'm gonna have a Neil Keena video up for Knicks fans out there. Hopefully tonight. I think I will have it up tonight. Oh, EDP's a monster. He's a monster. HS. I'm not on his. I'm a different type of channel. I mean, I don't even really consider. I love EDP's channel. He's hilarious. I don't really consider him a football YouTuber. He's more strictly entertainment, but I love it. Jose Reyes, man, thank you for tuning in the stream, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. Yeah, Jose, we talked real quick, Jose. I'm gonna show you what I showed the chat, but you can always go back and look at the replay. We talked about the I lost it for some reason, but we talked about the free agent pool. We went over the 2019 payroll, which is at almost 130 million. We said that they could potentially bring in Pollock, Andrew Miller, the catcher prospect, not the catcher prospect, rather Maldonado, who's due to make. They're projecting he will make about $4 million for his defense. We brought up the Cano stats, career 304 hitter, blah blah blah. Showed some Diaz stats, so we you could go back, you could look at the stream. We had a good time. We talked Mets. I'm going to try to make this a night show after football season. But right now, the only thing that fits my schedule is Saturday mornings. So that's why I'm having it on Saturday mornings. I may do it Monday mornings, depending on what's good for everybody else. But I figure Monday mornings people are working. All right, Ron Giant Rebuttal. I'll be sure to check it out. Enjoy the fight tonight. And thank you for tuning in the stream. And again, thank you for the super chat. It means so much. Thank you very much. Bavith, yes. I gotta find time, but I will. I don't know if I'm gonna put that on my channel, or I know a lot of people put the video game stuff on Twitch. I don't even have a Twitch account, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. But, yes, I'm gonna. At some point, I will have that. I promise. No, I wouldn't, Jose. I wouldn't trade. I don't want to trade Rosario. Rosario, I still think could be very good. He showed some promise in the second half. I like Rosario a lot. I wouldn't trade Rosario. No, Ligma, I don't think they're going to play Loletta. I think they're going to play Eli for the rest of the year unless Eli gets hurt or there's a blowout. If the Giants are blowing out the Redskins, I think you might see Loletta. I, of course, want to see Loletta before the end of the year. I would like to evaluate him. But right now, if you put a gun to my head, if you told me who's going to be the Giants starting quarterback in 2019, and Ligma, you might not like hearing this, and there's a lot of Giants fans who might not like hearing this, I really do believe Eli Manning is going to be the starting quarterback next year. And some Giant fans might hate me for saying that, and I'm not even saying it's what my decision would be. I'm up in the air. I understand both sides of it, but I think Eli Manning will be coming back next year as the Giants starter. It streams 4K on PS4. I didn't know you could stream from your PS4. I didn't know you could do that. I do it on OBS. I was thinking about just plugging in the HDMI cord from the TV into the monitor and doing it that way. Don't be late for me. What are you referring to, HS? Oh, for work? I won't. It only takes me 15 minutes to get in. I got to be there at 12:30. So I'm gonna end the stream in a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna get dressed real quick. I really appreciate that. Now you're the #1 fan of the #1 fan. That's unbelievable. I really appreciate that. Thank you for tuning into my streams, whoever you are. Mets fans thinking we could get Kluber. Yes, I didn't even talk about Kluber. That, of course, was a rumor a few days ago. Kluber's gonna cost a fortune. I can't even imagine what he's gonna cost. But Kluber, of course, is arguably the best pitcher in baseball. You pair him with DeGrom at the top. You put Syndergaard in the 3, Wheeler in the 4. Could you imagine that rotation? Yes, Bavith. I have a few of my coworkers are subscribers. Not many. Probably 4 or 5. Probably 4 or 5. I don't know if they actually watch my content. But yes, they are subscribers. EDP, what's going on, my man? But if we... Yeah, Justin Herbert's a possibility. I'm not... You'll see it. I'm going to do my draft preview video, so I'm going to save it for that. I appreciate all you guys that checked out my Josh Allen preview video. I'm going to be doing them on a weekly basis. I had a lot of fun with that. I love doing it. They're all going to be around about a 5-minute range. And then I'm going to have it mock drafts, too, as the draft approaches. So it's not going to just be individual players. I'm going to have situations, you know, when we find out where the Giants are going to be picking. You know, a couple of mocks, depend as the Combine gets into play, pre-Combine, post-Combine mocks, stuff like that. So I'm going to have that as well as my individual player videos. Too much gun. But, guys, it's 11:50. I'm gonna, as I said earlier, for the Knicks fans who might be in here, basketball fans, I'm gonna be having probably around mid NBA season. Crazy Dog, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Around mid NBA season, I'm gonna be having draft videos for the NBA prospects too, the Zion Williamsons, you know, all of them, all the top guys. So I'll be having those up as well, probably in about 2 months, month and a half, 2 months. I'll start that up. But guys, thank you very much for tuning into the stream. Darnold does not go. Well, I'll say this. I saw Rover's video, Bavith, and I disagree with that. I'm not saying Darnold's going to be the guy, but to say that he's not at 20 years old is crazy. Especially with Todd Bowles as your head coach and that offensive line. That is insane to me. You have to give the guy 2, 3, 4 years. Eli Manning, we all remember his first year, sucked. Okay? And then he won us 2 Super Bowls. So, I think Rover's jumping the gun with that. But he's clearly not a sure thing, that's for sure. I think it's going to take more than that. I think it's going to take more than just Conforto or Nimmo. I think you'd have to give up Conforto, probably Rosario, and a prospect to get Kluber. But that's me. Maybe I'm wrong. But thank you guys for tuning in the stream. Thank you guys for being great subscribers. Yeah, I'm going to go live. By the way, Giant stream tomorrow. I'm going to try to get Kid Blue on. I think I will. He usually responds to my messages pretty well. At 12 o'clock, we're going to do pregame for an hour, hopefully. And then, of course, I'm going to be streaming the Giant game. I'd have him on for the whole stream. The problem is he doesn't live in New York. So he's going to be so behind me because I think he gets it on Reddit or whatever he watches the games on. So I've talked to him about it in the past, so we're not going to be able to do it together. Karen, what's up, man? I'm actually tuning out, but if you want to watch the stream, please do so. I'm going to be live for the Giants tomorrow at 12. I got to get to work. Otherwise, I'd stay on with you guys all day. I'm going to be doing the Giants stream tomorrow at 12. So please go and check me out then. I'm going to do the pregame for an hour. I'm going to have Kid Blue on, hopefully, for about an hour before the game as we talk Giants. And then I'm going to do the whole stream as I've done the last several weeks. That's weird, Brandon. I don't know why. That's weird. I think some people did because I got some people in the chat pretty quickly. So that's weird. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I appreciate that, Crazy Dog. Thank you very much. And let's go New York Giants tomorrow. Hopefully the Knicks come up with a W tomorrow. And goodbye, New York sports fan. Thank you for tuning in the stream. You guys were great. And I'll see you soon.